Hello, good morning, good day, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. I am Dr. Greta. Welcome to Swing Play Score, where we help you to become the complete golfer of your dreams. So today, it's a beautiful spring day. Let me know in the comments if you're watching live where you might be teeing it up today, or maybe just practicing. Or if you're watching on the replay, let me know, because I do love to understand and know where you're playing, how you're working on your game, and all that good stuff. So today, we're just going to talk for a little bit about an important topic. If any of you know me, you kind of know this is kind of one of, I won't say my hot button issues when it comes to golf, but in terms of becoming a complete golfer, I think it's one of those things that's really important. After all, yes, it's important that we know how to strike that little white or yellow or green these days golf ball, but it's equally important that if we're going to be out playing, that we are what I like to term as good golf citizens, right? And so today I want to talk a little bit about 5 big reasons why you should really understand the golf course, but those penalty areas and penalty rules out there. And so we're just going to spend a little bit of time talking about these things because they're really important. So one of the most, in my humble opinion, one of the most wonderful and beautiful and unique things about the sport of golf is that we call penalties on ourselves. You know, in most other sports, there's a referee or an umpire right there to call those infractions, right? But in golf, I mean, yes, obviously, if we're playing a competitive level, they're around, but it's still the player's responsibility, unless it's just some glaring, egregious act, you know, and you're playing in, you know, essentially refereed competition. It is my duty to call a penalty on myself. And I think that, you know, as golf is a metaphor for a great life in so many ways, that's really important that we honor and respect that. And if you don't really understand how those things work, it's really difficult to do. So let's just jump right in here and talk about these 5 big reasons why you need to really have a good, solid, or at least a better understanding of those penalty areas. Okay. Number 1, keeping score. So if you're out on the course and you're keeping score, and as you've probably seen in it's one of my most popular videos, gotten, I don't know, a lot of views. But what about those red, white, and yellow markings out on the course? If you don't know what those are, then that means that you probably, even if you've been keeping score, you haven't been keeping proper score, because those markings will have a direct effect on your scoring. So number 1, if you don't understand those red, white, and yellow markings and stakes and poles that are out around the course, that means that you're probably not keeping score properly. And we don't want to be that person, right? Number 2, gauging our golfing abilities. Now, what you're probably saying, like, okay, what does that mean, Dr. Greta? What that means is, as we're playing and moving around the course, right? Now, let's just say I had no knowledge of those red, white, and yellow markings out there, and how penalty areas could affect my scoring and that type of thing. Well, now I know. Let's just say that. Now I know. Well, now that totally changes the game in terms of moving around the course and scoring, because, you know, maybe I struck a ball, playing my local course, and I struck a shot and it went over just to the right of that white line. And before, I just went over there and, you know, struck it out and hit it back out into the fairway, or maybe even, let's just say picked it up. Well, if I'm actually keeping score and I do those things, I mean, we've changed the game here in score. So you might have been thinking that, okay, that was 2 strokes, but you have essentially missed out on 2 or 3 big strokes. So if you're planning on truly gauging your golf abilities, then again, understanding the penalty areas and their impact on scoring and playing have an important role to play there, and they're important. Okay. Number 3. Let me find here. What is number 3? Oh yeah, I know what number 3 is. I don't have a little graphic for it, live production here, but I'll tell you what number 3 is. Number 3 is, I'm going to skip that one. I'm going to go to number 4 because I think that's the better one. We need, we've been talking about just a moment ago, being out there and gauging our golfing abilities. Directly related to that are having, again, real scores to establish a handicap. So if I'm not aware of what those red, white, and yellow markings out there on the course mean for me in my shot taking, where the ball lands, where I choose to strike the ball, that type of thing, I'm not accurately keeping score, which means if I'm using those scores towards my handicap, everything is skewed. Again, you see how everything is connecting. I need to understand the lay of the land, if you will. And of course, the land here is the golf course if I'm out there playing and trying to keep score, right? So really understanding the course and how the whole course will allow me to generate scores that are accurate and truly reflective of my playing ability, whatever that is, right? It's who we are, and that doesn't really matter, but we do want to be accurate, right? That's the big one, right? And then with that said, this is going to connect, and this might resonate with a lot of people here. And again, I'll just make that number 4B, if you will, here. This one is important for those of us who may be playing golf for enjoyment, but we may also just be using golf for business. If you are out playing golf with colleagues, potential business partners, and you are, and I'm using this word in the very true classical sense, the definition, ignorant of the rules, you can look like a cheater. Because again, you're out swinging, taking strokes, and you're coming in and you're like, hey, then that part on that par 4, I was a bogey, I had a 5. Unbeknownst to you, because you don't know the rules regarding the penalty areas, perhaps you've hit out of bounds, perhaps you've taken an illegal drop, all of these types of things. Many people are going to presume that if you're out on the course, then that you know the rules of the game and that you honor and respect the rules of the game. Because again, that's kind of how golf works. We are self-policing, and most of us take great pride in the fact that golf is a game of great latitude, but we have rules to follow and abide by and respect. So it's very easy to look like a cheater. And I just want to warn people of that. So if you're planning to use business as a tool, be aware of the fact that you just need to know the rules, and penalties are a big one. Now, again, related to that, whether it's you're using golf for business or just for your own enjoyment or playing at a competitive level, understanding and having great awareness of those penalties and that type of thing will create number 5, even though our number system's been all kind of convoluted this morning on those captions. It will allow us to more clearly manage the course. And some of you may say, well, what does that mean? Course management, is the approach that I use to move around and successfully navigate the course based on my abilities, my preferences, my shot tolerance, which can be very different than someone else's, right? That is how I manage each situation that I'm in as a golfer on the course, each shot, right? So let's just take a very basic example. Let's just say it's a par 4 and there's a tee shot, and the tee shot, if you hit it reasonably well, it's going to take you to the very front of a body of water, right? And if you look across the water, there's the green and the flag waving. And then maybe to the right of it, there's a little safer space, but you're probably going to have to take an extra shot if you choose to take the shorter route on the land. Well, for some golfers, the prospect of going over that water with a little bit of wind today, that type of thing, they may go like, that's not me, but I'm okay with, perhaps or probably needing that extra shot. I'm just going to take the the overland route and land and then, chip on. Where another golfer's like, that's only 170 yards. I've got that all day. I'm taking the direct route over the water. Both of those players may have the total capability to make that shot time and time again. Maybe someone today is the player B that's taking the land route is not feeling up to it, whatever the case may be, but they are managing the course based on their tolerance, their abilities, so on and so forth. So again, because they also understand that, well, if I don't make the shot and I drop that in the water, I've got some penalties to deal with. I've got some situations to deal with. Is that a lateral hazard? What's my situation? But they understand. And so with that, they're able to manage the situation, manage the course, and thus make for a better and more enjoyable round for themselves in all likelihood, but also to begin on a path of scoring in a way that's probably more reflective and accurate of their abilities. So again, there are really five reasons, that we really want to give consideration on the fact that we should probably learn a little bit more about those penalty areas. And so let's just go over them again. Number one, you can't properly keep score if you don't understand how penalties work, right? Number one. If you're ready to truly gauge your abilities as a golfer, then that means understanding scoring in all of its aspects is an important part of it. Number three, without scores, accurate scores, realistic scores, scores that are shot in accordance with local rules and the rules of golf, whether that's the USGA or the RNA, you can't establish an accurate and real handicap. I mean, it might be a handicap, but it's not really reflective of your playing abilities, right? If you're playing golf in a business situation, you don't want to look like a cheater. You want to be in the know. You want to look informed, right? If you're out there doing business, you need to know the rules of the game, literally and figuratively. And then lastly, we talked about allowing you to be more efficient in your course management. So, it's not that difficult, but I think it's really important. Hello, folks. I'm looking at the comments. Thanks so much for checking in. Hey, Cecilia. Hey, Elise, thank you so much. It's so great to see you all this morning. Love having you here. Hope that what's the weather like in Michigan? Is it cold today? Let me know in the comments there. But back to to what I was saying there. I'm sorry, I saw the comments and got happy. I loved hearing from you guys. One of the things that I just think that it's really, really, really important that we just become that complete golfer, because for a bunch of reasons. But that being that complete golfer allows us to be confident wherever we are. It allows us to play with anyone. We can go to a course all by ourselves and we get paired up and we're good to go. And there's nothing more essentially liberating than knowing that you are a good, confident, and knowledgeable golfer. Because a lot of times most players will tell you, particularly if you're a new and developing golfer and you're worried about playing with new, with seasoned golfers, golfers who may be able to score a little lower than you, most of them will tell you they're not paying attention to your scoring, but ignorance and lack of knowledge about navigating the course and course management and rules, that's what can hold us up almost more than not being able to create the ideal shot time after time. So that's a big one, and I hope that's really helpful to you. Does anyone have any questions? I'm right here right now. I'd love to answer any of your thoughts about penalty areas or learning more about them. We're going to have some resources. I'll put them in the description about that. We've got some exciting courses coming up, digital courses. So whether you live in Michigan or Atlanta or Ireland, we'll be right there for you, because it really is my mission to serve and help you become the complete golfer of your dreams. So let's see here. We've got watching from, hello, Melissa. So good to see you. Whoa, flurries and 32 or 0 Celsius, but looking for 17 on Sunday. That's awesome. So you'll be out for your first round of the season. I'm excited. And so what are we going to do with that elbow? I think we're going to keep it up to the sky, right? On that trail arm. I'm excited. I remember that from our chat the other day. So I'll be excited to let me know how that first round's going. How many of you have been out? I know we have quite a few folks that are from the more northern climes. How many of you all have been out so far this season to play around? I've been out a lot teaching here. Of course, I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, here in the States, and it's been lovely. We're in a cool snap. I'm going to say that from a southern perspective. I think we're going to be in the 70s today, but it's springtime, so it's been pretty good. But I think we've got a big rainstorm on the way, so I'm kind of crossing my fingers. Not because I've got a bunch of Saturday is my busy day on the lesson tee, and I hate when lots of people get rained out, but we'll see. So if they're in no more questions or comments, again, thanks so much, guys. I love seeing you here. I'm so appreciative of you. I do not take your viewership for granted. I'm here to serve. That is my great passion. Let me know how I can help. If you know where to find me because you're here, but always remember, you can always send me a comment. You can find me anywhere on social at Dr. Greta Golf. And if you want to drop me an email, you can find me. You can just send it to hello at drgretagolf.com. And me or one of my team members, we will get right back to you. But please know I'm here to serve. And as the golf season ramps up, I'm looking forward to watch how you swing, play, and score. So in the meantime, have a wonderful, safe day, and I will see you in the fairways. Okay? Have a great day. Have a great Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whichever day you're watching on the replay. Bye-bye.